Okay, back again. Let's hide the 3D cursor. And last stream we modeled these two guys. I think we spent 30 minutes, so each of these took 15 minutes, which is pretty fast. These will be considered the high poly models. So what I might do, let's grab these guys and we'll make a new scene. We call this one high poly. Okay, let's look at the geometry. Let's save. I want to experiment here, and I really enjoy this studio light we made, but I want to experiment a bit more. Let me open my stream on the second monitor so I can make sure nothing is wrong. I think we're good. Let's make this a little smaller. Okay. So I wanted to edit the studio light a little bit, and we'll experiment. So right now, it's looking kind of like ZBrush, which I like a lot. Let's experiment a little bit. So let's try. These are darker. Yeah, let's bring this down a little bit. So now the specularity has more say. Let's bring down this as well. See what that does. Trying to decide if I like this or not to have it on or off. I think we should have it on, but we'll change the angle a little bit. This is like double lighting from the front. This is kind of like under shadow, kind of giving that creepy flashlight in the face feel. This is kind of interesting where it shows you the limitation of the shader. So this looks okay to me, right? The way lighting is catching the rim here and it's on the side. But right here, this doesn't make sense if it was realistic, where I guess this would block the light here too, but on itself, this is the light here. You'd imagine if the light was coming this way, it would cast a shadow on itself right here, so you would see maybe the light like starting here, same here. So that's kind of an unintended bad thing, I suppose. Let's try putting it back where it was earlier. Let's put it like really behind. So you get like an extremely thin rim light. We don't see its effects here at all, but I see it here, here, here. What if it feels from the top down like this? I don't know if like, because I'm looking down at these cylinder shapes, that this feels good, or if it just feels good in general. But this does feel pretty good. I might do this. Let's see. much I want. Let's disable it for a second, see what it does. I like the rim light here, which is kind of not realistic, but it could be in some cases too, though, where it's like bounce light, or like something bouncing from here and coming over. So in a way, it does work. I kind of don't like this edge. Let's see if I can change the smoothness. See what that does for us. Interesting. I think some smoothness would be good here. It's still favoring the left a little bit if you look at this bottle. Oh, interesting. I'm looking at the rim light here. It still does favor the left though. I mean, it doesn't have to be exactly centered, so I suppose I don't mind it favoring left side. It's interesting though, it does matter where the camera is. Let's try to center it a bit more, so maybe it's a little bit less favoring one side. Let me try making it less soft. Let's try this. So I'll save this one. I'm gonna call this one, I'm gonna call this ZBrush Top Rim, I guess. I think it's kind of a weird name, but ZBrush Top Rim. And yeah. And if you want, you can actually preview the two. So this is the first ZBrush material we made. This is the second. So we lowered the mid-tones and made it more darker. So now the speculators pop more. We also angled and made the rim light sharper and further in the back. That was the two main things. So we just darkened the main values and we moved the rim light and the angle of the direction and the angle of the rim light. I'm hoping this will kind of help me see particular shape details in particular cases. But we'll see. So I'm gonna close that up for now. So kind of a sidetrack, but yeah, we got another cool setup here. I don't know how I could share those later. I think it'd be really cool to share those. But yeah, I like this. Ooh, let me see. Oh, this doesn't have a subdivide. Ooh, that's interesting. Let me see if I could try this. Ooh, this is tricky. Okay. Let's see if I can straighten this curve. Circle. Oh, there you go. Do the same thing there. Yeah, nice. I might add an edge here. So we'll just extrude this in, or inset it, and then we'll extrude it. Let's see how that looks. Yeah, that works for me. Inset and extrude. Okay. It's kind of like we're dilly-dallying a little bit. Kind of don't want to get into the meat and potatoes of the boring technical stuff of like retopology and UV unwrapping and all that stuff. So we'll call this teacup teacup 1. Call this teacup 2. Call this one can 1. Oh wait. And call this one can 2. Now the names are cool. Let's start with this guy because it's probably pretty easy. So make copies of these and we'll put these into a second folder. I'll call it low poly. Okay. And we're gonna hide the high poly. And we're gonna hide these guys as well. So we just work on this guy. See what we're working with here. So this is our thing with no modifiers on. This is with modifiers. Let's see what quadrimesher does for us. So we're going to experiment here. I'm going to make a copy of this. And we're going to apply our modifiers at level 3. And then let's just hit the quadrimesher by default and see what it does. Let's look at the geometry count. So it's at 10K. Let's bring this in here. So it did technically reduce the polygon count from this one to this, which isn't bad. It's 1/7, but that's way too high still. We could try running another remesh modifier on it. We could do it by hand, obviously, but I don't want to. This is pretty clean as well. It's working from good geometry too, which is probably why it's able to produce this. Let's go back for a sec. So I didn't move this. Let's hide it again. And then let's remesh count this. Let's try 50. See what that does. It might be too low. Okay. We're at 280. This bottom just got decimated. Okay. Let's bring this back. Let's delete it. Let's try running it directly off this and see what we get. Ooh. So it's going from 70,000 down to like 300, so it makes sense why it's so slow. Let's look at our task manager as well and see what it's using. Nothing is actually really running hard, so that's kind of good. It looks like it's stuck on 26. I think we're stuck. Oh, there we go. That kind of scared me. Okay. So we did a really bad job with the bottom. And if you look, that's actually not too bad. This is a little crooked, but it's not bad. Let's see what it looks like when it's shaped smooth. It's 300 faces too, which is still pretty high. Interesting. Okay, so we're just kind of shooting our shots in the dark here. We could potentially go in by hand and delete these, but we don't want to do that just yet. Or what we could also do is go back to this guy, duplicate him, and then isolate him. And then we go down to first subdiv, apply it. And this, oh, it's still 4,000 though. I think it just has too many faces going this way. So that's another idea. So it went from oh, it went from 4,000 to 7,000 to 4,000, so it's less than 10%. It's like half of 10%, which is pretty good. This one is 17, so but this is again not still too much. Although the geometry is pretty good. Just has too many faces going this way. If we tried to manually delete these, I think it would have issues at the poles. We could try something like this and select entrance and then select or like deselect. Check our deselect. Oh, that's going the wrong way though. It's pretty mesmerizing to look at. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, I'm not too keen on this approach. So we could run a decimation modifier on it just to see what results we can get with that. Let's say we go down to 10%. Okay, we're back. So down to 400, that's not bad. So the decimation modifier has some potential here. Let's see how it looks smooth. Yeah, I mean, I'm actually for this. This bottom could be cleaner, but this was instant. Let's see what let's see what it does if I. Oh, this is already triangle. This is already in quads. Um, we could apply this decimation. We could go back here. So this is that. And then let's apply a shrink wrap and put it onto. Let's hide this for a sec and see what it does. Really subtle, but it did make it more connected. We could potentially apply shrink wrap, and we could potentially go into here and define. That's the wrong way. Define this edge more. Oh, that's tricky. I don't know what's happening there. Something like this, and we can go mark sharp. Just to see how that feels. I'm not liking it. But let's keep going here just to see. That's like. Ooh, I don't like that at all. We might let the normal map do more work than us setting hard edges like this. So it was interesting to try. Going back here. I could try one more thing here. I could try this edge here. Let's see if this could get away with being a sharp edge. It's actually pretty straight as well. I might keep that edge actually. Let's look at the edge of pot here. We could put it on this edge, or we could put it on this edge. Or we don't have to put any edge, but we'll see. Let's try this edge just to see what the results are. Ooh, it's kind of funky. Little funky topology there. Now let's see how this feels. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's go back before we applied this versus after. So it really pulls in that edge, the shading layer, which is nice. Let's keep it. I think we can also kind of go in here and we could probably reduce some of these faces. Although maybe keeping them makes sense because at certain angles it offsets the shape, as small as it might be. Maybe we can get away with this one not being there though. I'm just double tapping G and sliding it into that face there. This one gets destroyed. Let's see if you could rotate this edge. Can we? There's a rotate edge. There's no shortcut for this? Oh, I guess we just right clicking then. I feel like that's a really good one. There you go. This one. Just getting rid of those really tiny, unnecessary faces. All right, I think that's pretty good. And I'll make these sharp here. Mark sharp. There. Ooh, I think this is a bad. This edge here. Maybe it's inevitable. Do this. And then rotate this one. Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I like it. So save, and we got it. We went from, I'll call this one teacup low. Save, and I'll hide it. And delete these two. Actually, have to do like that. Teacup one low, teacup and teacup one low. Yeah. Trying to stay continue. What do you call it? Consistent with their names. So you can see we went from 71K down to 400. So that's pretty good. This one. And let's work on the next guy. So let's hide the high poly again. And then we're going to go to teacup 2. Make a copy of them. Hide the original. Let's see what we're working with here. So getting a little bit of noise there. Let me see something. Where did I work? Seeing a little bit of these faces. There you go. See the same thing over here. Wait, can doesn't have it. Damn it. Let's go right click, curve or circle. Just do circle. There you go. Nice, so clean those up there. Getting a little bit of that on the top. So let's try to go in there and fix that too. Ooh, this is going to be a little tricky to select this face here. And then right click, circle, circle. There we go. We can kind of only see these imperfections because of this studio lighting shader we did, which is really nice. Okay, so we fixed those and we're in the high poly. What I might do is copy these back over. So we'll select everything except this guy. So delete those. Just this guy. Bring this back and duplicate that and we'll stick it into low poly. So now these are all the same. Let's hide high poly back here, and we'll hide the two cans for now, and we'll hide the glow that we did. So we're gonna work on this guy. Let's go up higher to 3. Let's see what 4 looks like, just out of curiosity. So we're at 500,000 versus 3. It is really smooth. I don't know if it's worth going to 500,000 though. Yeah, let's do 500,000. Why not? And then we'll duplicate it. Let's do, I think what we did last time was we did just a straight decimation on it. Let's go 0.1. So it's 10% now. Okay. It almost looks identical. Let's do shade smooth on it. So if you actually toggle between these two, they're identical. I mean, it still has 50K, so that's insanely high. So we'll try to go even lower. We'll try 1%. And it still holds up really well. It does feel like it has a bit more of a facade. I think that I can't remember what the word is, like faceted feel. Yeah, and you'll see some artifacting here, but it's not bad overall, and it's at 5,000. 5,000 is still a little too high though. We could do a couple different approaches as well. We could, instead of going down to like 0.01, we could do 2 separate decimations. But I don't know if that would mean less accuracy for the model. And already we're getting artifacts, so pushing it below 1% might be a problem. For the low topo, the most important thing is this silhouette here. So as long as there's enough geometry to retain this silhouetting, then it doesn't really matter. See what it looks like here. I mean, it's not bad. Let's do a branch here. Let's do a fork on the road. So let's say we're generally happy with this, but we'll experiment with this one. So I'm gonna make another copy. And let's apply the decimation. Now this is the geometry, but we want to go 1/10 of this. So we decimate again, 10% of that. That's what we get here, which is not bad. Really flat in here, which is good. And it'll reach from here, 500 polygons. The bottom suffers a lot though. This gets chunked down like crazy. But, I mean, for the most part, you probably would never look at this too, so it's kind of like, meh. Let's see if there's any, let's say we're happy with this, we apply it. So we don't have a clean edge to work with here as well, which is kind of an issue. Versus if you look at this one, there's this clean edge. It could come down to us baking down the normal map, and then that detail just gets applied. And the normal map might carry a lot of the curvature that's happening, where it's like softly going in and out. So this might just be fine. We do still get the silhouette, but it's really rigid. But it kind of depends what type of game asset this is planned for. Right now it's kind of more of like a background prop, where it's just sitting on a table in a shooter game or something, where it might blow it off with physics. Let's go with this. Let's say we're happy with this, and then we'll see if the normal map will carry more of the details. Let's see if we can go in here and clean up any bad edges that we could potentially spot here. This one feels really tucked in. It's kind of weird. So I might bring this up here. I might rotate this one. Another thing we could try, well actually let's do this first, and then we'll I'm kind of not feeling this edge here, but it's also kind of retaining that curvature. Okay, this area is pretty bad, so we gotta figure this out here. Let's try cutting this one this way. This one this way. Yeah. That's better. Looking at this guy. This one, I feel like you can go this way. This edge kind of doesn't work for me. Uh, let's move it out more like this. Right here is kind of wonky. I kind of need it this way though. See if we can rotate. Maybe we can cut across. Let's try cutting across with the knife tool. I want something there. And then we'll kind of merge down the excess here. That feels better. This one's really bad. It's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9-pointed vertex. Um, hmm. We could do something similar. Cut across here. Like this. Could merge these down. Merge these down. So that it's not that weird giant triangle thing. This one's kind of doing that too. But I can't really connect it anywhere. I guess we can do this. Oh, it doesn't even connect there. And then try to merge this down a little. Try merging these down. Is that too much? I think it's too much. We try to alleviate some of the points there. There we go. This edge could go up higher, probably. Okay. So I think it's overall better. And then let's go to shrink wrap, and I'll show this guy. So, go generate, or deform, shrink wrap, select this guy, and we'll see before and after, and apply it. Okay. Generally happy with it. Kind of wish this had more points, but it's okay. Potentially won't matter as well because the normal map will show the curvature, so it's good. Let's rename this one below. Save. And we can delete the other guys. So we went down from 500,000 to 500, so that's 1%. I think that's 1%. So bad with math. Or no, it's like 10% of 1%. So like it's like what is it? I can't even do the math. Really small. 1/10 of 1%. I don't know what that but anyways, kind of getting sidetracked. So here's this can. See what the geometry looks like. We could run a decimation modifier and see how that gets handled. We could also work with this clean geometry, although it has a lot of geometry going this way. So manually deleting it is relatively undesirable. Also, how we handle this will be kind of interesting. We could have it as a baked-in normal, but I think it'd be more fun if it had some geometry to it. But it has a lot of rounded shapes, so kind of creating that roundedness with mesh would be expensive. One thing to consider if I want to do this with normals or with mesh is if it breaks the silhouette. So this angle, you can see it breaking silhouette. So that would be an argument to make the mesh. But for the most part, like this would be an angle where normal would just carry all the detail, all the lighting detail. So if the light was moving like this, the normal would just reflect this shape into this as an image. And I guess here is another argument for making it a mesh where this physically overlaps with that. So right here, seeing the silhouette change, which is really minor. And then here overlapping with the outer corner. Here again, you can see it breaking the silhouette of this. So those are arguments for mesh. So right now, I mean, we'll still bake it as a normal, so that won't change. But how much of it we model and how we decide to model it might be a big factor. We could, I'm thinking this might work, is, let's create a plane here. Maybe starting with a different shape makes more sense. Maybe a cylinder. Let's make a cylinder. Let's go, so this is kind of where we're deciding how much geometry we want to have for this cylinder piece to be mesh. 32 is obviously way too high. 16, let's see what 16 looks like. We want it as an even number because we want to have both sides symmetrically even. If it goes too low, you'll notice the faceted corners. It's going to be really tiny though. 8 is probably as low as I want to go. Look at 8, see what it looks like. That's way too low. Let's go 12. Here's 10. That's still too low. 12 might be it. I might do 12. So, what I was imagining was we would just create the shape here and then we would project a normal onto it. I think that's the smartest decision, or the smartest workflow. Another thing is I want to extrude this going this way. I can just do it by hand, I think. So let's try that. Select the faces going this way. Let's go top down. Just try to match it as best as we can. Okay. Something like this. Let's flatten this one. Flatten the inside too. So let's bring this down in. Let's try doing it with local on. Okay. And then I want to try to extrude this out more and I'm going to delete the face on the inside. I'm also going to bring it in more. This. So that will allow it to project a really clean normal map on there. Shade smooth it. Yeah, that's great. It's not too heavy. And then we'll kind of do some manual retopo here. So this is a quad, 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 quad. And let's make sure this is facing the correct way. Just do Shift N on it. Cool. And I'm going to put this into my low poly. For this one, it's really close to the thing. It breaks silhouette here, which I feel like it's not worth modeling for, and it's really curvy, so it'd be expensive to do all the geometry. This one was big enough that it's overlapping here and overlapping here that I felt like it was worth doing, but this one I think I'll just leave and let normal maps do all the determining for. So let's see what the next piece is. So let's duplicate this guy. Hide that. See what the geometry's like. I think we're using, let me see. Let's go to shade flat. So we're adding some more geometry, so now we're at 500,000. Let's hide this for now. And let me do a decimate on it. Decimate, and we'll go 1/10. We'll see how it does. Oh, it's done already. I was like waiting. So that 50,000. This stuff here. Okay. What we could do a lot of geometry is being focused here. I don't need it to do that. We could separate each piece and decimate them separately. I think that makes more sense. Yeah, I think that makes more sense. So let's undo that. Go. Let's put this into its own folder, and we'll call it can explode. That way I just know I exploded out the model and the parts. And go to P, separate loose parts. And we're going to delete these guys. let's save what we did so far. And let's do a decimation on this ring here. Let's go down to 0.10. Shades. Go down lower. Okay, that's 0.1. And it's 300. It's still really high. We could get rid of faces like on the inside that are not really doing anything. And it would make unwrapping easier too. One of the problems though is because it's just like indiscriminately being remeshed with decimation, it won't have a clean and simple seam unless I could maybe do the loop tool modifier and make it smooth and circular. So we could try that. That might technically work. Yeah, we'll see. Let's go through the whole model though, and let's kind of see what the count will be at the end of that. Let's see, let's decimate this. Oh, you know what? We don't have to decimate this one because we're just gonna use the high poly and bake down. So what we're more interested in is the body and stuff. So let's decimate this one. Let's see what that looks like. 7,000. And let's do shade smooth. Okay, so we're getting artifacting here. Okay. It could work in the favor of artistic choice, where if this was like a cold, like ice bottle, ice can, this could kind of like be suggestive of like icicles and stuff, but in our case, it's just bad geometry. It kept this area pretty good, but I want to experiment with something. So 700. So this is still really high. So we would have to still go lower than this. Let's apply this. And then let's decimate one more time. Go 10% of that. And see what happens. So that's more like it. 74. The shading gets really rough, but I think I can fix that with edge, the sharp edge. Just have to find out where I'm supposed to go. Do this. So we have to stay within the scope of the bottle, or the top, I mean. So hopefully you can't see me drawing this hard edge. Oh, that's right here too. That's not bad, we could just do this. And then do Backplane that up there, and then we do it on the bottom. It should fix some shading issues. Let's look at the bottom. This one looks pretty straightforward. Let's go mark sharp. There you go. Nice. Yeah, that's much better. This is still really high though, 300. Let's try the method we had in mind. So the idea was try turning on Retopo, see if that helps us. Let's see. Not really. Okay, let's turn this off. See if we can make this edge flat. I like this edge flat. Doing some funky geometry here. Okay. Let's see what happens if I do circle. So we still don't actually see. Oh, I don't know if I should do this though. It offsets it too much. Was it kind of pointless that I selected this face? Kinda. Let me see if I can go face mode. Does not work. Okay. What a problem. What a predicament. I want to reduce the I wanted to select face on the inside, delete them, but I think it would be too much for palm. Let's do another decimate modifier. So this is kind of the process we were doing earlier. Yeah, that's too far. Let's see how low we can go without losing complete shape. 200. So 200 and 200 plus 70. That's not bad. 400. Yeah, that works. Let's apply this. And we'll go in here. Just kind of clean up the edges more. Let's see what we got here. It's pretty rough. Let's rotate that one. This edge, rotate. Rotate that. It's just super long, so I just wanted to help alleviate some of the stretching there. This one is a little better. feel like that's a little too much geometry there, honestly. Which way is down, though? Yeah, it's okay. It's like, whatever. Keep going through here. And just kind of reduce the stretching a little bit. That's not really much different. This one, yeah, that's better. This edge I might get away. Actually, let's keep it. I was gonna merge it away, but I think I don't have to. Ooh, this edge right here is really stretched. I might cut this way for this one. And then merge this down. Here. Uh, yeah, that's pretty good. Cool. Save, and let's back out of that. So this is 200, this is 70, and then this one's going to be 200 as well. And let me think here. Okay, so let's do the same process. We'll decimate, go down 1%. Shade smooth this, apply it, and decimate again. But then we'll kind of manually go as low as we can. Stay around 200 as well. This. And then I'll apply this, and then we'll go in here and we'll just fix it up a little bit. Ooh, this is really funky. What's happening here? Huh. There you go. Ooh, this is really weird too. Oh man. It's hard to tell what's happening here. And there you go. Now I can maybe do this again. Yeah, it feels better. What can I do here? This edge is really bad. This is like really technical, boring. It's kind of like a puzzle. So in that sense, it's not that boring, but probably not very entertaining to watch. It's not sexy. Let me think here. Maybe flip this one. That feels a little better. This edge is carrying too much, I think, as well. There you go. Here's another edge. Ooh, this is tricky. Okay. Um. Hmm. Um. Oh, this edge right here. I want this edge to go over here. So I might do this. This edge. Flip. This edge. Nice. I think that's good. Don't see any notable bad ones anymore. And it's 200. Go back here. Let's bring back the cylinder. So I'll combine these guys. Let's go. Let's press Shift N on these, make sure they're normal or facing the right way. Let's bring back this guy. Combine these two guys. So this is the low poly now. Nice, 500. Nice. And then we'll bake down the other can. I think this can's already high poly, so we don't have to worry about it. Let me see. So if we hide this one for now. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Yeah. And then I'm going to rename this guy. I'm gonna use the bathroom in a second here. Nice, we got 3 of them done. Now we just need this guy done. Use the bathroom. Ooh. Okay, so let's look at what we're working with. So I see the top with artifact. So what I'm going to do is delete this one, go back to the high poly, and fix this one a little bit. So I'm going to go circle, circle. So now it's much better. It still seems to have flatten this area. Hmm. Hmm. I thought that would fix it, but still see it ever so slightly. I'm just gonna see if it's not geometry that's messed up. It's totally tolerable though, like really it is a little bit better. Like you can't even see it from this distance. So we'll make a copy of this and we'll put it down here. Hide the high poly and we'll work on the low poly now. So let's do the same thing we did down here. So we'll drag this down to can explode. Select everything, separate by loose parts. So we'll work on pieces separately. And another thing, let's try decimating it. 0.1. It's actually really good. A little lower. That's way too low. Let's apply this decimate. And I might do what I might do before the decimate though is we'll delete the interfaces. So this will help press L on that, hover over L and then delete. This will help with the decimation, so I'll have more faces to work with. 0.1. And then I'm kind of curious, I want to see what happens if I do this. Space, actually, relax. I thought I would go in the center, but it didn't. What about, what is that other word? Oh, what's it called? It's like, smooth vertice. I used to do that a lot in Maya. Just spam average vertices like that. I kind of did what I wanted, but it's like whatever. I just wanted to see what happens. So this is 200. It's not bad. I could definitely see where I can clean things up like here. But for now, let's leave it. Hmm. We want to aim to hit 500 again for the bottle. I'm trying to think here. This is a little weird because the way you modeled this is this separate piece, which is totally fine as a print, but it's kind of a problem for printing. I mean, for game res model. Overlapping geometry like that. Let me see. Let's see what a decimate looks like on this, just to test it for now. Okay. Just to see how low we can go with this. 74. Let's try hitting 100 here, just to see. That's not bad right there. So yeah, I like that. Let's do the base of the body as well now. Let's just go straight into this. See what this is looking like. Okay. We're not going to need this stuff in here. So I'm going to delete these. I don't know if I need this edge as well. Oh, I don't need the edge. Okay. So now we're kind of faced with an interesting problem where do we want to let a player be able to open the bottle? So for example, this cap comes off. I kind of want the option there, so we'll build it in. So I'll leave that there. And let's decimate it. $200. That's not bad. 200, so that's 300. Yeah, I think that's probably good enough. And then let's hide this part. This edge is really being retained, which is kind of cool. There's apparently edge of vertices here too. And mark sharp here. And let's go back here. Let's save, and then let's reduce the poly count on this guy. 100, 300, and then this top one was 200, I think. But there's still one more piece, so see if we can go lower. Let's see. That looks like. That's actually fine. So I'm gonna hit yes for that. And we'll bring back the other piece. We'll decimate this. We can't really go that far. It's really simple already, but we'll try. This doesn't look any different. So we can't go 10%, it's too low. 100 here. Okay, let's bring everything back. Let's see what this is. 500, that's not bad. We lose a bit of shape here. On this guy. Get odd shape overlap there. I mean, we could potentially just get rid of it. Or we could merge down. We could do a remesh modifier and then do a decimation on that, which would be interesting. It would give us a cleaner result there. We could try it. So this and this we'll drag onto the side so we can kind of compare what before and after are. And then we'll bring back can 1 and bring it down here. I'll call this one AA just to keep them separate. And then I'm going to separate loose parts. And then we'll delete the parts I don't need anymore. So now it's just these two. Let's hide these two as well. So now we're just working with this guy. So we wanted to remesh it down, but we also wanted to have it hollow on the top. But we don't really want to remesh when there's a big hole on the top. So we're kind of facing an issue here. If we remesh it, it's going to lose the cylindrical cut on the top. We could do a boolean to kind of cut into it. So that's kind of not an issue. Yeah, let's just do it that way then. So combine these. And then let's do a remesh modifier. And go pretty low here just to capture the detail. Let's before we do this though, let's add a subdivision on it. Apply it, and then do the remesh again. Oh, that's weird. It still has faceted faces. That's interesting. Why is that? Let's go back. Let me separate this one for a sec. And then we'll add another subdiv on it. Combine them again. Remesh. There you go. So I just added an extra subdiv on the body base. And that kind of helps. Oh, am I chugging? Okay. Froze Blender though. Whoopsie. I probably went into like 4 million or 2 million or something by accident. Unless it's waiting for something. Oh no, we're fine. Okay, cool. So let's see what the geometry is. And now let's do decimate on it and kind of slowly chip away the geometry here. Okay, so 29. Let's try going to point 1. Alright, point. Okay. 2000. We're getting weird faceted edges. Let's see what that looks like. Let's apply it. Let's decimate further. Okay, so this just destroys it. It's still higher geometry too. Interesting. Okay, how do they handle the bottom? The bottoms are about the same, honestly. Yeah, the bottoms are about the same. Some of the edge flow is better, and we could probably kick it out with the sharp edge. So let's see what it does. If we hit apply, and then kind of select edges here. And we go mark sharp. I mean, it feels more, I mean, it's not, that's a tricky call. This has a nicer edge though. Yeah, that's true. Interesting. So the remesh modifier really destroyed like the clean cylindrical cut there. So this was a good learning experience. Generally speaking, it handled the body similarly, though this one's still cleaner. We were really bugged about this unclean matching of the geometry, but let's look at how the geometry is on the bottom. This still is better, I think, slightly. Although they're very similar. This one just wins out for me. We moved it, so we thought we weren't going to use this, so... Oh, you know what? Maybe it's fine. So yeah, I guess there could be use cases where this method is better, but right now I think this one's just stronger. So let's see what happens if I do this. Okay, so that one doesn't work. Yeah, okay. I was hoping that would snap back, but it did not. I don't think I have enough undos, but we could try. Let's cross our fingers so we have enough undos to the point where this snaps back here. No, it doesn't snap back. No. No. It's okay, whatever. Wow, I positioned that super good. Like almost exactly on top of the other one. Let's see. That's pretty good. Yeah. It has to be lined up because the normal bake high to low has to match. So I need it to be as close as possible to the original. There you go. Where did I put it? Okay, so I'm gonna combine these. Drag this into low poly, and I'll call it can. And let's hide the high poly. 500. Yeah, we were aiming for like 500 or 400, so there you go. All the low polys are done. And now the fun part for unwrapping. Let's work from left to right again. So I'm going to open this menu. We're not going to really do any shader stuff, so I'm not going to really worry about the bottom. Let's see what we were working with here. So this one's pretty easy. It's basically 2 cylinders. Which UV editor? Yeah, that's right. What I always liked doing, I think in Maya as well as Blender, was I reset the UVs by going to project from view. So everything's nice and tidy over here. Why is this highlighted like that? Just wanted to make it look prettier. Ooh, this pixel, that's kind of cool. I didn't know. Huh. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I don't know what that does, but we'll see what it does in a bit. I just didn't like all these like, oh, okay, I see now. I actually don't really need to see this, so I'm gonna hide it for now. Um, kind of like black. Looks cleaner to me. So we have to define where to cut the model. We could put all of these on a single UV. We could put them all on separate UVs. I think it makes more sense to have them on separate UVs and then have the maps be like super tiny, like 500. That way you could decide to use just like 1 or 2 models. You don't have to use them all. Not like wasting loading in the, like the texture. So let's do that. Let's make 4 separate materials. I mean, 4 separate UVs, 4 separate materials, and it's gonna be 512 by 512 material. Um, the seam is actually pretty good already. So I'll put them exactly where the sharp edge is. So just hide that for now. I wish you could like change how how much opacity the sharp had, but for now it's okay. I'm holding control, clicking there, and we're going to do mark seam. So that bottom one's going to be basically a flattened out cylinder. And then we're going to chop up this way. This will unwrap like a cylinder. Mark seam. This way. Oops. Follow this edge as well. Mark seam. So it's inside. We could cut partially down. We could separate this inner part a couple different ways. We could do that. Let's just cut down and then we'll kind of separate. There isn't a very clear edge to work with here. Just kind of go this way. Like this. And then we'll go mark seam. I pressed U that time, so you could do it that way, right click or U. I want to find one that's like really straight. Or you know what, we could just match. The same spot there. So the UV seam just continues. So now this side will be face wrapping around. This will be a face wrapping around. Flat circle, flat circle. So if you edit mode, select faces, U, unwrap, minimal stretch, boom. I might rotate these this way. This. I'm going to press L. This is on the inside. And then L. See if these are the outside. They are, so that's okay. There you go. That one's unwrapped. We can also see how much stretch it has. That's actually really clean. Wow. Turn that off. Okay. So that one's done. That was fast, easy. We'll do something very similar to the other one. So again, I'm just, oh, you know what, wait. That's actually insanely, like, good already. I might put that edge lower, but, oh. That's not gonna work, I think. But this is actually pretty decent. That's not bad. Let's see if I can have it send over the UVs. Mark seam from islands. That's not bad, honestly. Oh, it's a little bad here, but I don't know. I think I would put this lower. I would clean this edge up, but generally that's pretty good. That's kind of interesting how it chose to stretch it. Well, I mean, this is the default cylinder, so. Ugh. Oh man, it's already 10:30. I wanted to do more today. in terms of modeling, but I guess this took up all the time. Okay, so I'm going to reset all the UVs. So we'll just do project from view, clear seams, and we'll just cut them where I think it's better. I'm holding shift here. Oh, maybe actually this is going to be sitting on the table. So if there was a seam, it'd be really hard to see it. Oh, I actually missed this. Let's rotate that. I'm trying to decide if this point's worth keeping. Um, I feel like it doesn't do enough. Get rid of that edge. I don't think it's worth keeping. Okay. Feel a little better about it. Save. We want to do this like edge flow modifying and merging down of verts before we commit to UVs, because then you'd have to basically redo them to some extent. Try to find that edge again. Ooh, that's a long edge, huh? Ah. That is a really long edge. Yeah, I'll leave it. Let's just leave it. This was the other way. Hmm. I just wanted to see what that would do. Alright, so I'm gonna mark the seam there. I'm actually gonna flip this. Feels a little better, yeah. And then, or that's gonna be a circle. This whole front face will be um, the side UV. Well, we started pretty far out there, and then we kind of went really in. Let's see if we can go. Uh, hmm. can cut this way. Or I can go this way. Let's go this way. Yeah. So let's mark seam. And then we'll cut going up this way. Let's see if we could find a decent edge that's pretty straight. This one goes pretty straight here. Something like that. And then, so the bottom, so UV, circle around, it flattens out. The inside will flatten out. And then we'll cut the bottom here. A bit more organic in shape, so the decimated shape's more organic and chaotic. There we go. So we cut all the seams, circle, circle, flat plane, so save, edit, select all the faces, and let's do a unwrap minimum stretch. And again, I'm just going to rotate this 90 degrees. And I'm going to move these over. Let's see if I can find a spot for this guy. Oops, what did I do? Where is this? Oh, this is on the inside. Well, let's see if I could swap places. Give the outer more UV space. Well, actually, you know what? You look inside the cup too, huh? Yeah, let's keep that the same the way it was then. Yeah. Cool. So this one's unwrapped as well. So far, easy peasy. Now the more complex one. So let's do this one again. So let's work on this piece by piece. Let's start by selecting all and doing project from view. And then let's do this cylinder piece. Flip it, let's hide everything else. I just selected that, inverted my selection, and then did H to hide everything else in edit mode. If you tab to object mode, it shows everything, but in edit mode we have it hidden. I want to hide the seam kind of tucked away in here. Like this. Let's work on this side. I'm gonna match them up here. This, and then we'll go cut, mark seam, and then we'll bring back everything. So this edge right here, I might cut along this edge here. Mark seam. So this will flatten out as a single plane, I think. Let's see what it does. I'm kind of curious. Oh yeah, there you go. Let's save and let's move to the next guy. So this one should be pretty straightforward. unhide everything, Alt H. And then this one actually I don't think I need to do anything. It just unwraps like that, so that's fine. Let's do the body. Invert H. And this is actually pretty straightforward too. Just see what it is. And wait, that's mark seam. Same thing on the bottom. Just tabbing to see it. Mark seam. So this is top circle unwrap. Oh, we gotta cut sideways. Let's see where we drew a seam here. Wait, what happened? Did it? Oh, it's still there. Okay, never mind. We're okay. I want to kind of keep the seams together, so cut it this way. And then down here, we'll just do the last one. So many shortcuts, my brain's melting. Ooh, that's kind of weird. What's happening here? Oh, there you go. Ooh, why is this still there? Oh, I must have duplicated that edge. Something weird happened there. What did I do? Or no, we didn't duplicate. We told it to. Oh no, we did duplicate it. Yeah. You can see there's two verts here. Yeah. Oopsie. Let's let's go back to the point before we did that. Hopefully we have enough go backs. Oh, it doesn't look like we do. Let's work forward then, because we can't go back. So we'll just merge down the extroverts. So I'm looking right here. And just merging it down. It's kind of checking around the neighbors and seeing if anything else is screwed up. And then we could test it. I don't see any weird issues, so I think we're okay. And then we have to redefine that. Oh no, it's actually fine. Okay. So I think we're okay. Little bit of a hiccup, we're fine. Let's do the bottom one now. Oh, I didn't clean this up enough. Double checking again. Oh, it was probably just one I missed right there. Oh, here. This. Anything else? Feels kind of bad. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let's unhide it again. Okay, let's see if we can select the edge again. Let's mark seam, and let's unhide, and let's see where the seam is. So it kind of ends here. Let's make this one seam, mark sharp, and let me hide this one again. Oh wait, I wasn't supposed to mark sharp. I was supposed to mark seam. Okay. I feel like I'm in like hiking up this mountain of work, and it's like I'm finally getting to the top, but there's still more to go. So we still need to do baking, and we still need to upload it online. I don't want to do any texture painting for this today. I just wanted to go through the process of unwrapping and making the low topo. We can probably do more models over time, and if we get the desire to paint it, we can. But I feel like painting is like a whole iceberg of a challenge of its own, so that makes it like a gigantic project of a gigantic project, colossal cosmic scale. So I don't really want to touch texturing, but we'll still bake maps like the ambient occlusion and stuff, so normal maps. So oh, there's a weird thing here. Did I never fix this? That's weird. I might not have fixed this one. Unless I just missed that one guy. I might have worked on the bottom, and then I just didn't know I was working on the bottom, and then we forgot to do that on the top. Because the bottom looks fine. Yeah, it was just that one guy. Cool. Now, let's, what am I doing? I'm kind of getting burnt out. I'm feeling it slugging down. We still have to export out the models. So that's kind of a bit of organizing and a bit of work. And we'll show marmoset in process in the baking stuff, but did I forget something? Don't think so. I'm trying to My brain's just chugging. It's already 11, so that totally makes sense why. Um, it sucks because I work in the morning tomorrow, so if we were to keep going, we'd have to like wait till what is that? I don't know. Like afternoon, like 3 or 4. And we'll be tired too, so it's kind of a bummer, but I wish I could have gotten this done today, but we did a lot, which is good. But we'll try to like put our last um, safety line in the mountainside by I don't know what that's called, but finishing the Retopo stage or the finishing the UV unwrapping, and then we'll save the baking for tomorrow. I think that just makes more sense. I have to rename the video though, but that's not that big of a deal. Um, yeah, we just hit this. It's a noticeable like brain sludge slump. Like I I'm having trouble focusing. Come on, you could do it. Just put one foot in front of the other. You could do it. Come on. Okay, so we put the seams on these guys. And then we do minimum stretch unfold. And I kind of want to rotate this. I think this is actually the top, right? So I think I want to actually rotate this way. Like this. I kind of want to try something as well. Like, let's say we grab this edge and go straighten. Ooh. Why is that? Oh. Uh. I wanted this to be flat, but it's grabbing this, which is not what I want. I swear there was another way. What if I pin this guy? What if I tried to unwrap him? Oh yeah, there we go. That worked. Oh, that's cool. Wait, did this one move? Oh, that's cool. Let's see if I can straighten this side. And then Let's unpin all of them. I never really pin, so it's just kind of a curious thing for me. Oh, is it pinning, if I go back here? That did not work. Um, hmm. Let's unpin everything. Yeah, I don't know. It did not work as I thought it would. I know you could separate these. Interesting. I just want to see if there's anything that would affect that. Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah, I just wanted to straighten those out anyways. What I could try is bring this corner, and then this one is the bottom one. Doesn't make sense to keep that straight. What's the bottom? That one's the top. Make this smaller. This one doesn't have to be that big. Actually, it probably doesn't actually need to be pretty big because it's going to have the normal detail baked in there. This one too needs to be kind of big. Trying to think how I could do this. Probably bring these guys. I think here. Um, this would be we use sculpt mode in there? No. I think they have like almost like a soft sculpt brush in Maya, I think, for like nudging vertices. That was quite nice. It's been so long since I used that. My brain stopping the work. Um, I kind of want to keep these parallel to each other, so I wanted to. Oh, bounding box center, the visual origins. Okay. We could move it over. Yeah, I kind of like that idea, so let's do that. And then we sacrifice the both the pieces being the same direction, but we get so much more room this way. I think it's worth it. And this needs to be bigger anyways, so this bottom one doesn't need to be that big, but I'll just make it bigger because I have the space for it. There you go. Save. That one was a little bit trickier, but we got that one done. And then the last one. Is it going to be the most difficult? I don't know. We'll find out in a second here. Let's do UVs based on view. Let's do the main body first. So this one is something we could work from. So we could build it on this edge here. I might build it along here. Like that. Go to Maxime. And I'll draw this seam going up here. Like this. Let's see if we could change our camera clip and make it a little bit lower. Where is it? Where it is. So let's make it a little bit lower so we can actually zoom in closer. Yeah, so now we can see that. And then Maxime. So this is all going to unwrap as one piece, and then this one's on one piece. So that's pretty easy. That part is done. Hide, flip it. Did I accidentally duplicate again? Let's see. We're fine. Okay, so what is this piece? Oh, that's kind of interesting. We didn't consider the inside being hollow. That would give us more faces that would need to be UV'd and raise the geometry count as well. And we'd have to retopo it to some extent. Let's see what we're dealing with here. So let's bring everything back. Save for a sec. So what I'm talking about is this piece. doesn't have a hole through it. I mean, it kind of depends on what this model is supposed to be. If it's supposed to just sit on the desk and never be really open, then this is fine. But if it's like being unscrewed, and then I would think you need geometry here. Oh, we kind of do have it there. Well, actually it's going to be one-sided. I mean, that would mean there was no point in having these extra verts here and having it so clean if there wasn't going to be a hole to begin with. We could do a boolean and then decimate after. I'm just trying to decide like what this model should be. I mean, I think it'd be fun if the person had the option to open it and then be able to see inside it. But again, another issue would be, since it's a one-sided model anyways, you couldn't see inside the bottle anyways, so you wouldn't want to, because what I'm imagining is if you were to use this in a game, in a first-person game, and you have them unscrew the bottle, then that would mean like basically doubling the geometry to get the inner bottle. And I feel like this isn't going to be that, so we have to make the call to say like, is this bottle a hero piece or is it just a prop? And I think it's a prop. So that being said, let's put that back and let's just keep unwrapping. Let's just keep going. Let's hide this. Let me see. Let's do this top piece really quick. Okay, so this bottom one will give me a seam. I need a top seam. This edge is pretty clean versus this edge. Trying to decide which edge to use. There's two edges. We could use this edge or this edge. Let's use this edge. Mark seam. So this will be a flat. This one will be a circle on top. So we just need a seam this way. And what I want to do is match the seam line here. So mark seam and mark seam. Okay, cool. So that one's good. Now let's do the last two parts. I think the seam was right here, so I just kind of cut along that area. We can cut the top here, or we can cut the bottom. It probably doesn't matter. I'm trying to think where it would deform less. I would imagine it deforms more it might be relatively insignificant how much it deforms, but I guess just imagining for the future, like where it would be better to cut. I think the further away from the seam, it's less deforming. You'd probably be seen more from the top like this. So I think it makes more sense to cut below. So let's mark seam. And that one's done. And last piece, this guy. So that's tucked away. It's just gonna be a cylinder basically, so top and bottom are gonna be circle cuts, and then the side will just be one long plane. And I want to try to match the seam here, so like do this guy. Oops. No, don't merge. What am I doing? Okay. Yeah. I feel like this should go here. Yes, and I think that's more accurate. Or maybe like this. That feels more. Yeah, that feels a little better to me. You know what? We could probably do this as well. There's less of a cut there. Yeah, it feels good to me. So top circle, bottom circle, and then black cut around. So let's go back to the object, or actually it's edit mode, unhide everything, save, select all the faces, and let's do unwrap minimum stretch. Nice. Let's see which way is top here. So this is the top of that bottle. So, ooh, that's kind of fun. Whee! Let's switch this back to bounty box center. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's see, let's switch the median point. Oh, that's not any better. Let's just leave it at bounty box center then. We have, what is this? Oh, it's not even here. We have like Packmaster, but we didn't install it, I guess. In this case, it's kind of simple, so I don't really need it. And I kind of want to do my own thing with it anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Just seeing what the faces are. Okay. put this up here. And can I straighten it? Oh. I thought that would work. That did not work. I'm just kind of experimenting here. What if I do this and I pin this and I unwrap it now? That doesn't do anything. I'm gonna pin it. I'm gonna decide where to put this one. Do this. And then see which way top is. That doesn't help me very much. And I'll drag these in. There you go. Nice. Save, and we finished the unwrap for the bottle. Save, and so there you go. We made low topo, and we unwrapped them. So if you look at the UVs, oh my god. You can see all the UV unwraps. Why are these red? Why are these? That's kind of weird. Why is this one? Oh, it's because I have it selected, that's why. Oh, interesting. This looks fun. I'm just doing Alt Q. Anyways, so that's kind of good for today. We'll take a snapshot and we'll call it a day. And then tomorrow we'll bake in Marmoset, and I might work on another project tomorrow. Although we'll do it in the afternoon because we work in the morning. So we'll see how that goes.